Let me see. Let me it's just that we're live, all right? Let me anybody has
Yeah.
their phones
It
and the other,
it
you got
says we're live.
Yeah, it
it
says
says
we're
we're
live
live.
here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're
I can
live,
say
man.
this and hello. Welcome to Tuga Tuesdays, everyone. This time we're going live for real. Last time I said we, right? Don't say we, say I. All right, I messed up and I didn't hit the live button. I was so excited playing with this Stranger software, which I found it really cool because you know what, guys, you try it on. You go to, have you ever won on I don't know what's this on Twitch? Man, it's a pain. It is a pain to all this sit out there. You gotta
Mhm.
buy this software, the other software, and then you go from
Mhm.
here to here, and it's just crazy. It's just not tech savvy, so
I made an account and I'll go from street. I've never gone on to see what it looks like. I don't even know if it's working or not for me on Twitch.
I, I don't know. I tried, but I'm maybe I don't know. It's just it's too much for me. It's too much for me. Well, finally, we're here, so
Mhm.
that's all it matters. And listen, I wanna start. I'm so excited because I was watching Champions League all day long today,
Mhm.
and as much as I could because I was doing other things. But I gotta tell you something. I was not expecting. I was not expecting that outstanding victory from Porto today. I thought it was going to be, the struggle was gonna continue carrying into international competition, but it wasn't like that, and I'm so happy for it because Galeno finally, my God, taking off on this season, and the season for May Taremi, who he got his first goal on the league now in the Champions League. He scored for his national team, so the guy's on a roll now. I think that he was. Uh, I think he had an impact. The fact that he was leaving, not leaving,
Mhm.
and then finally when he made the decision, right, he's when really his mind got completely focused on the game, and that's something that I appreciate, and you guys appreciate more than I do. Right, Rui? Thank you for joining us tonight, Roy.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for having me on again. This is I'm excited to talk to you guys as always. It's always
Yeah,
a good conversation. Great win, Teremi. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail right on the head on this. I think Teremi, we know the quality player that he can be. Um, him in his prime, he's been great at Porto. He's had a great 3 seasons prior to this one,
Mhm.
so we know what he's capable of. And going in, final year of the contract, you don't know if you're going to leave. Porto buys another striker, thinking that's the Teremi replacement. A lot goes on in your mind, and you want to have a deal made, and then the deal wasn't perfect, and whatever it was, it's all in the past now. And I think he definitely has woken up. I think I think it was the last game. Yeah, it was this past weekend where he
yeah,
started off on the bench, and then
on the
he came
bench.
on,
Yeah,
and then yeah, he came on and he
destiny.
scored. So
That's destiny.
sometimes you need that little bit of a wake up call, and I called for it. I know that eventually Teremi is going to wake up because this is his contract year. He has to perform. He has to play at his best.
Mhm.
So if he does go out on a free, there's going to be a team out there that wants him and that wants to pay for his salary, and maybe he'll get a payday. So yeah, it was it's excellent to see that he scored a beautiful goal in the weekend, the game winner, and then he played fantastic in this game as well. Not just the goal that he scored, but everything else that he provides. He drops deep. He's always he always makes his presence felt in the transition, the build up plays, everything. He's a complete striker. So it's good to see that he's done well with the international team, in the league, and then in the Champions League. So I'm really happy, and also with Galeno too. Both of these guys have received a lot of criticism, and a lot of Portistas have called for both of them to spend some time on the bench. But both of them definitely had a game that they definitely needed, and hopefully this is a wake up call for the entire team, not just for Porto. And we'll see what happens. I think Porto plays a lot better when they're playing against a team that isn't always defending or playing
Yeah.
with like 10 defenders back too. Once you give these players some space to do their thing, Porto can get a little bit comfortable, a lot more comfortable.
Absolutely. And now when I turn into the Eagle side with Mr. Benfica, my dear friend Mike D'Agostino. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for
Uh,
having.
when I talk about the round 5 on the tournament, but first, since we're in Champions League mode, first, when I ask you how do you feel about the, first off about the rival tomorrow, right? And then how you feel about the group? Is this a payback time for Benfica, sort of, because different stage of the competition, yes, but still payback time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough group. I mean, Inter right now are on another. They're on another level. They just smashed AC Milan on at the weekend, and Real Sociedad are flying. This group is tough. Salzburg, you don't want to underestimate them either. They've made good runs in Europe before. They've always got talented players in that Red Bull setup. These are guys you're going to see in 2 or 3 years at big clubs that you're going to forget were even at Salzburg. There's a lot of pressure in this first game because the other ones are against those other 2 teams. So, and it's at home. You have to. It's a must win. I mean, a draw is like a loss, I think, in this one because of what's coming ahead. And it's going to be interesting. I think Benfica is going to win, but I think it's going to be. Although, just like Rui said, I think Benfica also plays better in Europe because for the same reasons. Salzburg are going to play. They're not going to sit back. They're not going to play in 2 low blocks of 4 and give you no space to play. They're going to attack, and you're going to have a chance to counter as well. And we'll see what kind of shape Ba is in tomorrow. I mean, he played hurt at the weekend because we're out of right backs. Auschwitz can't play left and right back at the same time. Maybe right. I don't know if anyone can. It's him, but realistically, it's not going to happen. So I'm a little concerned about that, about our outside backs, especially because there's usually pace. Red Bull teams always play at high press. I'm glad we've got Trubin, with some minutes now, because I think he's going to be huge in breaking down the press, the way he plays with his feet. I mean, there was one play against Vizela that he knocked about 70 yards in the air, put it right onto Auschwitz's foot almost in the attacking third. That's going to be huge against a team that's going to want to press. I think that we're going to need to get some Di Maria magic, probably, because the game's going to be tough, and it's going to be the moments that decide it. But 3 points are a must when you got Inter and you got Real Sociedad coming down the road. I'm nervous. I'm a bit nervous for this because I know the expectations sometimes are exaggerated. And Portuguese fans, I think we overrate ourselves sometimes. I remember last year when both Benfica drew Inter and Sporting drew Juventus, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're both moving forward." Like, pump the brakes. Those are good teams good teams with good players. I mean, you just look at the payroll differences. Can't get too carried away. I'm anxiously excited, though. I want to see what they can do. They've done well. The groups the last 2 years have been very tough. And I think this one's tough, but it's like a different kind of tough. It's not tough in the sense that you have Barcelona, PSG, Juventus, and Bayern Munich in your group. But Real Sociedad are fantastic. So,
oh yeah.
So I mean, you can't take them. If you take them lightly, they're going to punish you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, talking about Spaniards, right? Talking about Spaniards, my dear friend here, Derek, is joining us also tonight.
Hello, guys.
So we got the big 3 going tonight. I like it. I like it a lot, man. We got the Tiquistas, Sportingistas, we got the Portistas. Yeah. And we got this crazy guy right here that calls all the games for you guys. And so you got I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of you, my dear friend Derek, but we were talking Champions League, but we're gonna switch the competition. Still European competition. All right, that's the Europa League.
Yeah.
How you feel about your group, Derek? What do you have on your group? You got Atlanta, you got Stonegrass, and you got Racco Chistochokola.
Yeah, I've never heard of Racco before. But I guess they won the Polish league last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only Polish team I knew was Legia Warsaw. We've played in the past, but we're going to Italy, we're going to Austria, and we're going to Poland. And I'm a sporting historian, and we have never won in Italy, we've never won in Poland, and we've never won in Austria.
Time to make history.
It's the first time for everything.
Like last year was last season was the first time you won in Germany. So Ruben is the guy first. So we'll see. I think that this first match on Thursday is going to be difficult. It's in Austria. It's Sturm Graz. They are undefeated right now in the Austrian Bundesliga. And as a matter of fact, they just
played Salzburg.
They just drew with Salzburg 2-2. So I think that this is going to be a serious test. I think it's going to be a serious test, and it's going to affect Sporting's sort of their confidence, heading into the game against Rio Ave on Monday. So I mean, this is going to be a serious test. I mean, like I said, I've been following the club for so long, and I do remember that we played Austrian teams in back-to-back seasons, and almost the identical thing happened. It's crazy, right? So, before it was Red Bull Salzburg. It used to be known as Casino Salzburg. Right? So we played Casino at the Alvalade, and we won 2-0. And it was a complete victory, a dominant victory. And everyone thought that heading into the second leg against an Austrian team, we're gonna progress. And we were winning 1-0, and then in 94, actually they were winning 1-0 in Austria, and then in the 94th minute they scored the 2-0 that brought it into extra time, and then they beat us in extra time 3-0. So the next year we played Rapid Vienna, and again they went to the Alvalade and we won 2-0. And again we thought that we're this is an Austrian team, we're gonna go and we got a 2-0 lead in the first leg, we're gonna win. So we went there again. We're down 1-0, and in the 92nd minute they made it 2-0, and then we lost in extra time. So I have bad memories of Austria.
Oh man!
Rui,
so that's why I really don't know what's going to happen. Austrian team, they play like Germans. They're going to be very physical. They're going to be very fast. And they're gonna be playing at home, so they're gonna go in there. They're gonna be very strong, especially those first 15-20 minutes. If we can weather that storm and get a foothold in the game, and play our game and begin to impose ourselves, I think we can win. But there's a lot of ifs. This team's undefeated right now. They're just coming off a 2-2 result with Salzburg, so this is not a team to be taken lightly. Even though they don't have sort of like the European pedigree that that Sporting has, in the European competition. So I mean, I'm definitely I don't know quite what to expect. So I'm very curious about this upcoming match. But that being said,
you should be confident. You should be confident there. You got your Vikings.
I don't know if you guys saw the Moreirense game, but I mean that was total domination. Sporting is in form. They're in top form.
They're in form. They are in form. And guess what? Last week I was talking to my friend and colleague also on Gold TV, Manu Yola. Yeah. And he made me throw my predictions for the season. And I said this. I don't know why, but this is just for my gut feeling. All right. Yeah. And I said this, and I said that I think Sporting was gonna be on the top of the standings at the end of the season.
Whoa.
That was total domination,
So I don't have my phone out there. It's out there, man. It's out there. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm gonna remember this day. When Nino called it.
All right, guys. I know we're moving from the international competition, which just happened today. We got the game, the upcoming game from. I think that echoing here is an echo.
Yeah, that was me. I fixed it. It was me.
Okay.
My phone started playing.
So we went for the international competitions to the Primera Liga. My question is, my concern is, I don't think that usually Porto doesn't start that strong. That's true, right? They'll build up this in crescendo, but on this this probably is the first month of the season in all the season that I've been calling this league that when I see Porto not showing an actual identity of what's Porto playing. When you see Benfica, you know Di Maria is gonna fly. You see Sporting, you got the Paulinho and fantastic form. You got the Morty, and you have a Jokic, you have Marcus Edwards, and that the 3-4-3, and you know, I mean, you know what they play. With Porto, we don't know what to expect every week. It's just like it's a puzzle, and that puzzle, happily for you guys, Rui, got a sort of solved today with that performance in the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this. I think we did a preview, us for right before the season started, and I kind of expected this to happen. Usually, we do start off slow, and given that we lost Uribe and Otavio and didn't know if Taremi was coming or going, Pep was going to be suspended for the first game or two or whatever it was. So Sergio Conceição's not going to be there too for the first few games. So I already knew that this was going to be a big giant mess. I'm really happy that we won all of our games except for one, and that game that we didn't win was a draw, so that's okay. We're still tied at the top of the table with Sporting and Boavista, which is great, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with us playing scrappy football for now, because I think eventually, and I think today was a taste of what this team can be. Eventually, we're going to see Porto play a much more positive football. I think this year, the team that we have a lot of quality in terms of being creative and maintaining possession and playing more of a positive style of football than we saw last year and even the years before. I don't want to say 2 years ago, because 2 years ago we had a really good team, but you know, the typical Sergio Conceição teams were very like scrappy. Right. You can even say to a certain extent, like a little anti-jogo, being more defensive minded and whatnot. But I think right now we're in a good place in the standings, but I think it's still going to take a little bit more time to figure out these smaller teams, to break them down, because it's really, really difficult to do that in the Portuguese league. So eventually I think we will find our stride. I think it's just all about a matter of when it's going to happen. And in the meantime, however it is, we just have to win these games, scrap through, and then eventually we'll find our stride. And I think that's kind of like the story for all of us, you know, Porto, Benfica, Sporting. We just have to get these points until we find our identity, until we find our groove. And at the end of the year, that's how championships are won. As much as I want to beat both of you guys all the time, but it's only playing both of you, it's only 4 games out of a 34 game schedule. All these little teams, Feirense, Casa Pia, Famalicão, we have to beat them.
The title's won against the other teams. Yeah.
Like beating each other is just bragging rights, you know, and it could be a title decider, but
it could be, but it's usually because of what happened in the other games that gets.
I mean, look at Braga's had a couple of bad losses.
And they're an excellent team.
They are.
They never invested so much in the team. They went all in this year, and they lost to the newly promoted team, you know, Feirense, and they lost at home to Fama. So in the first 5 rounds, you know, so these are, I mean, you don't want to go behind by double digits, and they're already behind by 6 points with just 5 games played. So these little games are so important.
And the game the competition goes, when you those 6 points, they completely leave you out of the title race. I mean, right now, I mean, Braga's out. Braga's out.
They got to go get those points against us now. That's basically what the situation's
exactly. But then you don't have those 6 points that you do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, Mike, what I was going to tell you is, we're going to talk about the individual players, but I cannot avoid talking about my buddy Angelito Di Maria. He is, for me, when I start from there, and for me, I said it on air. For me, I think he's the best player in the league right now. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully, I really pray for him to stay healthy, because you know his history. I mean, he's a fragile guy. But I think if Roger dosifies the amount of games that he's going to play, because you're going to play Champions League, you're going to play the TAS, you're going to play basically you got a lot of tournaments going on. But putting Angelito on the side, I think out of the three, it's the team that is building up more solid than the other two. That's my point of view after 5 games into the season. What do you think about the start of the season after 5 rounds and after that outstanding victory that you have over the weekend?
Yeah, I think each game's getting a little bit better, and the team they are building. And that first half against Vizela was probably the best 45 minutes we've had all season. The result doesn't show it. It comes across as a close win when it could have been a much easier, less stressful win. But I do think the team's trending in the right direction now. I think transfer window being closed, and now we know who's staying. It sounds, I mean, it almost hurts me to say this, but getting Otamendi out of the team, I'm sorry, not Otamendi, Odysseus out of the team seemed to have been necessary, because there was something not right there. And I think he didn't take well to Trubin being brought in to begin with.
Yeah.
And as soon as he had a bad game, he got very defensive and something was unsettled. And I think getting him out and, resolving the goalkeeping situation. Now the goalkeeper seems to be set. We got our starting goalkeeper playing. He's got 90 minutes under his belt. He'll get 90 more tomorrow. Hopefully. I mean, he's going to make mistakes, and he can't quickly jump on the goalie the first time he makes a mistake, which our fan bases, all 3 of our fan bases are very quick to do.
Yeah.
But I do think that, the team is going in the right direction. The defense is solidifying, but again, injuries have you with a midfielder playing left back and a right back that's at maybe 60-70%, that I wish the options besides him is a converted center back or another midfielder being converted in, because we just don't have the market didn't work out for us to get players for those positions. We pick up Juan Bernat on a loan, but he's apparently not ready to play. He comes in and, if ever we needed him, it was going to be last week so we could move Auschwitz to right back and let Ba get some rest.
Anywhere, man. He can play goalkeeper if he wants to, man.
Maybe he's the backup goalkeeper now that maybe he's the
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in the season, right? Hey, we don't have a goalie. Get Orsnes. Out of the pipes. He's going to take care of you, man.
Yeah, the good thing is we're scoring goals, not as many as we'd like, but is anyone ever happy with their offensive production in that sense? Everyone always remembers the goals you don't finish.
Talking to you, Derek. They're talking to you about that. Derek.
We're getting 2-3 goals. Rafa, early season Rafa is a whole different Rafa than what we're going to see in March. Early season Rafa is always at the top of his game. Musa scoring. And Di Maria right now I'm nervous because I think he's playing too much. I think he's keeping him on too late. But I think
you have Neres.
That's why I think he's leaving him on too late, because you can use Neres for 30 minutes. And he's got a player. He's going to get unhappy, and then you're going to have that problem to deal with. So I'm nervous about the way Roger's managing Di Maria right now. But I do think what happened this weekend was the penalty was conceded. It became 2-1. And I think Roger's still remembering in the first game when the red card was shown, it was Di Maria that came out and it all came unraveled. And I think that's still in the back of his mind. And I think that's why he's holding on to Di Maria as long as he is right now. But at some point he went to Bolivia. He flew and played like 2 days later. After playing 90 minutes at altitude. It's risky. But again, I'm not in there. The staff is in there. They have people there that are paid to look at these things. You have a medical staff. If he's being cleared to play 90 minutes, that means that somebody that knows what they're doing cleared him to do that. It's nerve-wracking, but you have to trust your manager at this point in the season. And I hope he stays healthy, obviously. But we have solutions.
Something quick before we go with Derek and Sporting. On that game against Vizela, they got the fat shark symptom, right? After leading 2-0, and they just feel so comfortable, so confident the game was in the bag. but there were 45 minutes still to play.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and then the penalty comes up, and then you realize, oh, there's only one goal. We
All of a
better
sudden,
get out
everything
now,
changed. Yeah.
right? And let's rush into decisions.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I think I don't know. Maybe probably Roger talked to them, and just keep the same intensity. I mean, don't stop. Well, why
Right.
you stop? I mean,
Right.
why you stop? If you can put 4 goals on Vizela, just put 4 on them. Put
Yeah,
4 on
and
them.
then you can slow it 4.
Yeah, then you slow down. Then you
And then you
go
can think about
4-1, 4-0. Then okay,
Mhm.
Angelito, you
Right.
want to take a seat now?
Yeah.
70 minutes. Is that okay with you? You score twice. You know, is that anything
Oh,
else
you want a
need?
hat trick? Never mind.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's gonna sit down. He's gonna be relaxed when he goes out.
Yeah.
But after when the game is
Yeah.
complete, right?
Mhm.
And all right, Derek, your Vikings, man. I love your Vikings. I love Morty. I love Gyökeres.
Man,
I
yeah.
love the way that the team, the 2 players fit into the formation.
Yeah.
The way that they understanding each other with Paulinho. I have no issues with your team right now. But I know you do. So tell me, what issues do you have?
Other than Esgaio,
You see, I know my guys. I know my guys.
No, I mean, I was, really, really impressed with what I saw against Moreirense. And Moreirense has given some teams some problems. I mean, they gave Porto a run in that the first game, where they were winning 1-0 in the second half, and then they gave Braga all kinds of problems. I was looking forward to the game, and it was going to be a good match. I think the first 5-10 minutes, I think we were sort of just feeling them out. But around the 10-minute mark, once we got control of the game, that was it. It was thus far like the most dominant Sporting I've seen so far. I am super impressed with Morten Hulemond. I mean, it's hard to believe that this guy was just playing on a team in Italy that was fighting for relegation. His ability to recover the ball, it reminds me a lot of Palhinha. He's just super intelligent in his positioning, and he's given you that element of the outside shot.
Yes, it's something that Paulinho doesn't have.
Yeah. I mean, against
just a destroyer.
Yeah. Against Braga, he had scored the goal, and they waved it off for an offside, where evidently Pote was screening the goalie in an offside position. I mean, I showed you. I mean, I sent you that little clip where it looked like there was the goalie Mateusz. It was a clean sight, clean line of sight that he had with the ball when first struck it. Again, it's all subjective. I get it. But and then in this game he hit the post in the first half from an outside shot, and then he ended up scoring the first goal of the game. So he adds another element, to Sporting's game. I thought Pat Morita was excellent. I thought he filled up the pitch. I thought he was great. I thought this is probably Nuno Santos' best game of the season so far. He was, his, same explosive self going up and down the left flank. I think that the defense was very solid. I've been pleasantly surprised with Diamond. He's been showing tremendous poise. He's a beast back there. And then, obviously, just Gyökeres.
Right.
What
Derek, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, I just got one something real quick there. Now you mentioned Nuno Santos, and every time that I call a game for Sporting, I say the same thing. For me, he is one of the, if not the most underrated player in Portuguese soccer, and I think he's probably the best left back in the nation. Maybe they would like him to have him wearing red, right, Mr. Benfica?
He used to.
He did wear red.
He wore for a long time.
And he wore blue too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's just the guy that's under the radar.
I read this on Twitter, right? Somebody posted the stats for Nuno Santos, and they were like, how this guy doesn't have a chance at the Seleção? Well,
I saw that. Yeah.
You got Joao Cancelo there, so you gotta beat. So I don't know. So what do you guys think about Nuno Santos? Is he the best left back in the nation or not? Not Derek. First, I'm gonna go with Rui first.
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave Derek for last on that one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, I would probably say he is right
You're
now.
crazy. Just tell me. You can say that. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're crazy because I mean, I
No.
would have probably given it to Grimaldo, obviously,
Yeah,
but he's not here anymore.
but he's not here
But
anymore.
but yeah, I guess so because right now Benfica doesn't really have a good left back at the
No.
moment, and Porto definitely does not. That was one of the positions that we were hoping to fill in. We're
Mhm.
still sticking with the same two left backs that we've had for this is the third season in a row with them, which is bizarre because we historically we've always had good left backs, but we just can't find a left back. But yeah, no, I don't think you're crazy at all. I think Nuno Santos is probably the best off the top of my head. I would say so.
Mike.
Yeah, I agree with Rui. I mean, our league is all wingers converted as backs. All of our backs are wingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing the best. He's consistent. He's been the most consistent. And like Rui said, Grimaldo's not there. I can't make an argument for anyone in my team right now.
Yeah.
Not even Auschness. But
yeah.
But yeah, and there's another example. It's a midfielder playing as a back. But he's probably, I would say, since the middle of last season, would you say, Derek, that he really has elevated and really taken that spot in that upper echelon of
I think
backs?
Ruben consistently putting him there has helped.
Yeah.
So, that first season or two, sometimes he'd show up in the front three.
Right.
So now it's like, this is your spot. This is where you're playing game in and game out. So I do think that consistency has helped him. He knows that he's playing there. I think that he gets back. He totally fills up that left side.
Mhm.
He's got a great kick. We all know about his Rabona.
Mhm.
And he's a great crosser. He can come in and take a shot. And he's got tremendous pace. He's great at passing. He's just an under the radar guy. Where he played for Benfica. He was part of Porto's system for a while. It just he was at Rio Ave, and we got him from Rio Ave. This under the radar guy that does have tremendous ability. But as far as the seleção goes, there's so many great players to pick from. It's tough.
Yeah,
it is crazy. It's
tough. Yeah.
Now you mentioned players, right? I posted this on Twitter and I say, hey guys, drop some questions. And there was a question for Porto, and the question was, who do we think that who's the best signing for Porto this season, Rui?
Oof.
Tough, right? Because it's hard to pick right now.
It's funny because like we've been pretty abysmal in terms of playing, but the players that have played really well and consistent this year have been the new signings, and I like a lot what I've seen in Ivan Jaime. Alan Varela has been really good since he entered the starting 11. He's been sensational. Today he had an excellent game. Nico Gonzalez did really well. I was surprised to see him in the starting lineup early on in the season. Usually Sergio Conceição doesn't like to start these new players unless if they're superstar potential like Alan Varela has. So it was good to see him, and he did rather well. So I would definitely say, I'll go with Alan Varela because I think he's really gelling really well despite the team not playing well. He's really going to fulfill that Uribe spot really well. I think he's going to offer a lot more as well. And what I've seen so far, he's been great. He's been fantastic. So I'll go with Alan Varela.
Varela, right? And you know what? I was watching today PSG game in Manu Ugarte got a massive game today. Get this. I don't know if you got you know his numbers from today. No,
he's a man.
I can't pull it up.
You don't know the numbers. I want to tell you the numbers now. He didn't miss a single pass at the 89th minute.
Wow,
not one, not a single pass his 8 goal passes were all spot on. He only lost one pass in the entire game.
Fills up the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so
61 for 63 passes.
Wow.
97%. Listen, I mean, you can pass the ball like maybe. I mean, I don't know how many of those were behind or lateral passes, but I mean, he's doing something right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
He's a
passes.
cyborg, man. He's
No,
a
to be
cyborg.
Yeah, I did read
And
that.
check this out too: 8 out of 8 long ball accuracy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
It's a heck of a game.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think Vitinha had the player of the game as well.
He did. He
had an
won the
assist.
man of the match. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he also was his passing was 47 out of 55, 85%. That's was great numbers.
But those two guys.
It's
were
good to see the
fantastic.
Portuguese league doing well in at PSG.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
gotta
absolutely. But I think it's gonna be only 1 year for Manu Ugarte. I think he's gonna go somewhere else, and I don't know. They pay
Probably.
60 mil for him, but I think he's gonna go to a Premier League maybe next year.
For the Premier League, that's not a big. That's not a big.
60 mil. All right, give me 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the 60 mil for the Premier League is like our 10 million.
That's like mid-table
12.
teams are thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God! Guys, I know we're not. I mean, we're not talking about this team, but because none of us are for that team. I'm not a fan of any of your teams, but Boa Vista.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boa Vista at the top of the standings, partying like it's 2002.
Yeah.
I remember that year.
Oh, I do too.
Like that.
Yep.
Oh my!
You couldn't score them that year. You could not score.
No.
You could not score a goal against them that year. No.
It was, and you know what's exciting is that it's not like they make a big splash in the transfer window.
No,
I mean, it's like
they're locked out of it.
The team is the same team from last year.
Yeah.
Okay, and that defense is so cohesive now. I mean, Tito Pascal is not making crazy things like he used to.
Yeah.
And Seba Perez is an absolute leader on the midfield, and they have they have of course now Bobby Bostonich.
Oh, yeah, where's this guy coming from?
He is rolling. I was calling that game in what was it? 39 seconds. 39 seconds for the first goal.
They fired the Scottish coach.
Oh, it's about time. I mean,
yeah, they fired him.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
Yeah,
gone. But Chavez is done. Chavez it's done. You know, there's no doubt about that. We usually I take this. I think the sample is if you lose the first 7 games, you're done.
Yeah,
that's what happened with Pastor Ferreira. That's what happened with Santa Clara, Marítimo.
It's tough.
That's the luck number. Lucky number.
Yep.
You know, that luck. Bad luck number. But what do you guys think about Boa Vista? Do you guys impressed? What impressed you the most about
Hey, I guess.
about the Black Panthers?
I guess the game against Benfica wasn't a fluke.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a fluke.
No. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing some really good football.
Yeah.
Positive. They're creating opportunities like crazy. And Robert Bosnick, man, that guy. What did I say last time? I think he was I called him a machine. Guy it just doesn't stop. So I mean, it's good to see it.
Yeah.
You know, to have another team that's playing that you wouldn't really expect to be playing at this sort of level.
Yeah.
And I think in other seasons we would call it a fluke, but like they're really playing well. So I mean, I guess we could say that about teams in the past too, but there's something different about this. This is like the impact that Bosnic has on the field. It's incredible. He's putting opportunities away, and that's at the end of the day, that's what dictates the game. So let's see what happens with them. Boavista, obviously they didn't really add too many other players, and it's still practically the same team from last year. But
they only brought in
I don't know.
the youth team. That's it. They promoted guys.
Consistency.
Let's not forget about the
few years.
I'm sorry.
You know, Petit's been there for a few years. So
that's right.
The routine is in. You know, they bought into his philosophy, and it's showing on the pitch.
Yeah.
So this will be fun to watch.
It's something we don't see in Portugal where
Yeah.
you like let a manager work and
Let
let
'em
the
back.
players develop and let them play, let them make mistakes. Like we said, it's a lot of guys carried over from last season. They've been able to build a rhythm, build a cohesive unit, and
Yeah.
it's paying fruit now. Sometimes you just need patience with these teams,
Yeah.
and we have a culture where it's like you lose 2-3 games and the coach is gone and this guy's dropped, and you're gonna go splash money for an unknown and that some
And I
agent will
think
talk up,
Petit's
and
an
then he gets there.
underrated coach
There was
too.
one year where Sporting fired the coach when they were in first place.
Yeah.
When was that year? Tell me. Tell me that one. I don't know that one.
I'm gonna go back to the Austria. Right? Again, it was a consequence of that elimination. So again, we were first place, and we had a team. We had Luis Figo, who was a Ballon d'Or winner. We had Paulo Sousa, who won the Champions League with Juventus, Borussia Dortmund.
That man was Bobby Robson, right?
The man was Bobby Robson, and you're the one that benefited from it, Rui.
Yeah,
right.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. So basically, like I said, we were cruising. We lost that game in extra time. It was a shock elimination, and on the plane ride home, our president goes up to Bobby Robson and fires him.
And Mourinho, he fired Mourinho
in first place. So then after that season, of course, Bobby Robson was then hired by FC Porto. He proceeded to go win the next 2 championships, and then he went to Barcelona where he won a Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah. So, I mean, going back to the point, this is what we do in this league.
Yeah.
This is just what we do.
That's insane.
This is Portugal.
Oh my! Hey, you know what? Talking about these coaches, like Petit coaches, like Vito Lichigal, let's not forget about this name that for me he has elevated his game in Boavista. I used to love him when he was playing in Tondela, and that's Salvador Agra.
I like that guy a lot.
He's a fighter, man. He's a fighter. He never gives up, and he had this explosiveness that is. I'd name him and what's this guy that's playing now for Atletico, Sammy Lino. The 2 best players to use in counterattacks. And he just scored a goal from a counterattack on this past weekend. Salvador Agra, I think he's also one of the crucial elements for Boavista in this early success in the league.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Over the years,
he's been sort of like bouncing from team to team.
Yeah.
But he's consistently good. I've seen players like that too, where because I've been watching for so long. These players that are bouncing around these like little teams who are like really good players. They just never got to like the that one of the top teams. But nonetheless, they made pretty good careers for themselves. You just see them bouncing around. They like these little teams, and guys that when you look at the other team, and you look at their starting 11, and you see that guy, that's a guy that you want to pay close attention to.
Yeah.
So he's one of those guys.
And there's one player too I want to add too, and I think he's going to be on all of our radars, and he's their left back, Pedro Malheiro.
Yeah,
he's been so good this year too. He's been contributing a lot on the attack. I think he's got a couple of goals and a couple of assists.
He's a kid, right?
He's like 22 years old, so it's like I don't know. Might be a future Porto, Benfica, or Sporting player. It might be that way, and maybe and hopefully a good national team player too. So definitely got to keep your eye out on him. He's been really good, and he's a young player. I think he was part of Boavista's youth academy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's a homegrown player.
But I think he was also part of Braga at one point as well. So he was kind of tossed around.
These kids move around a lot.
They do.
So that's definitely a player to look out for.
We're gonna drop on the standings, and I'm gonna mention 3 teams that we want to talk about, and those are the teams that with only 1 loss so far on these after 5 rounds. That's Casapia, Fama, and Arauca. those are the three teams that lost only one time so far into the
Sporting
season.
losses.
So what again?
Sport gave Casapia and Fama those losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. No,
Absolutely.
I'm with you. I looked at that Casapia team and I thought winning on the road against that team was big. That was a nice 3 points because they have weapons, but they recently lost Godwin. And
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
Critical loss. I guess it was like their biggest sale that they've ever had.
I'm sure.
They couldn't pass on it. They just couldn't pass on it.
No.
I mean, I always thought he was a little bit too good for that team. So I'm not.
Don't exaggerate. You're exaggerating. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm not surprised that he made. I'm not surprised that he made the jump. That's one less guy to worry about. But still, they have. So I like getting the 3 points from them, and like Family Count, just since they came back up, they've been producing these good teams year in and out. So they're always a team that they scare the hell out of me. I'm happy to get them out of the way too. That was a big 3 points. But Porto did us a solid there because I think they took one of their that guy's an emerging star, that Ivan Jaime. That was an excellent pickup. I know beginning there was speculation Sporting was interested in him too, but I think that's an excellent pickup. I mean, he definitely does have the skill set to play at a big club. So, Porto, I think, chose wisely with that guy. And obviously, Fama's gonna, feel his absence, but it's, Fama just keeps on, coming up with new guys. Another guy steps up, and they still.
And the strong guy, John Dercadis now. He got a strong start of the season. I wasn't that sold on this kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's 28, but
former
I really wasn't sold on the guy because he's a big, tall dude. Kind of like a not skillful, but he's scoring now. He's scoring now. Hopefully, he keeps that rhythm throughout the season, which I doubt. I really doubt it. But this is what I'm saying about the Family Cow. Looking at the names, looking at the roster, I've seen them more fragile than Casapia, because Casapia, it's still a project that has been built for years to reach the top flight division. And I think that they're gonna remain on that top half of the table. I think I'm seeing Family Cow dropping probably top 10, 11 in those positions. But the other one is Aruca. They only won one game, right? But they haven't lost in the other three. So there's only one loss for Aruca, and that's also
this weekend, right? Yeah.
To my goal that I have on my fantasy team, he's
I think he's probably the best
goalie.
Yeah.
It's a top 5 goalie.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Make the case against Nacho. Come on, guys.
No, he's a top 5, no doubt.
Yeah. No, I mean, with that done, like 30, I think he's 36. I would love like a Nacho to come on to Sporting. I think he's excellent. I think he's fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking about that last year, the game at the Alvalade. I mean, he was unbeatable. I mean, but and then when I watch Aroca play the other bigs, he's always tough to beat. I mean, I think he's an excellent goalkeeper. I think, and he definitely has like the ability to play at a bigger club, in my opinion, from what I've seen of him so far. I mean, I'm really impressed with him.
Now, guys, before we go into the bottom of the table, to the guys, Molinense, Estoril, and Chavez, I wanna make a comment about this team that is Vitória Guimarães. What's going on with him? What's going on with Vitória Guimarães? Back-to-back losses. They start really strong, the first 3, but now this is I used to remember, Derek, that I used to call him the Sporting, the Frankenstein of the Primera Liga. Now that's the title that now is for Vitória Guimarães. some with 1 week they're superstars, and the next week nothing goes well for them. What do you think about the Guimaraes guys?
They should be. There's so much potential in that club, and they really underperform, in my opinion. I mean, they had their issues with the manager in the beginning of the season. They can't get out of not out of the playoff round of the Conference League, but like the second preliminary round. I don't get it. They play our teams so tough sometimes, and then when they have to go get a result because there's no reason they shouldn't be right there with Braga year after year. They're a bigger club than Braga. They have more support. They're a symbol for their city. They're one of the few teams in Portugal that when our teams go to visit, we don't have more fans than them. They're one of the few that you go to Guimarães, you are only a Guimarães fan. And I don't understand with that type of following, and they've got foreign money, but they're somehow still, languishing, and they kind of fell into 6th place last year and into the Europa Conference League after Xavi announced they weren't going to go, which after that they I don't think they won too many games after their president announced they weren't going to go to Europe if they qualified, and Guimarães fell into that spot. But they really should be on the verge of the top 4 all the time, in my opinion.
But you know what? But I think the problem is, and based on what I've seen from them in these first 5 rounds, is that they don't have a quality striker, and they don't have a quality striker. I mean, Andresito Silva, he misses big chances like it's like nothing. I'm gonna miss 15 shots today, and then the next game when I miss another 20. I mean, it's just crazy the amounts of shots, the big chances that he misses, and big chances. It costs you games. It costs you games. And that's the problem. And then you have Jota Silva, who does all the work on the offense for the Conquerors. And then when he gets the deliveries, nobody finishes. Nobody. They're lacking that strong finish for all the plays that the Jota Silva creates. You have the Thiago Silva. I mean, that's the, and I don't think they're gonna go outside in the winter transfer window to get to sign a striker. I don't think they're gonna go for there.
Yeah.
Derek?
No, yeah, and I think that they're. I mean, this whole thing with the manager change after the first week. After they were essentially eliminated from Europe, change. Now, you have your
It's a confrontational guy, Moreno, wasn't it?
What was that?
Well, Moreno wasn't he? I just got the idea, the feeling that he was a confrontational guy, Moreno.
It had to be to leave like that,
Yeah, and I know that they were eliminated from Europe, and at that press conference, he talked about that being the primary reason why he's leaving. It was because of the elimination from Europe. But I mean, you get these players, you're setting everything up for Moreno's vision. It's Moreno's vision, for this season, and then after one game, he's gone. So now you're bringing in Paulo Turra. I don't know if it's a mental pick because he played for them.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So you don't know what his philosophy and what he believes in heading into this. So that really leads to like a lot of instability. So I think that's contributing to the this inconsistency in playing, and the inconsistency in the results as well. I mean, they just lost to Portimonense. I mean,
2 goals in the last 10 minutes. It's like
So I think this may be a rocky campaign for them. Unless something happens at the transfer window, which like what you alluded to, I don't think that's really going to happen. So, but
they might snatch somebody from another team in the league.
Mike, I'm with you, Mike. I think that they have the 4th best fan base in the country.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why this team shouldn't be in the top 5, top 6 every single year.
Right.
Be
inching closer to the top, not further.
And Porto, Sporting, Benfica will always have a tough time playing at that stadium. I don't get it either. This team should never finish 10th place.
No.
I mean, heck, I remember one year they were relegated. Remember that?
Yeah.
That should never happen. Yeah, never.
And they've been third before. They've been third and played
They've
prelim
third
Champions
before.
League. It's like
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
we were gonna talk about the relegation zone, but I'm looking at the clock and I want to try to keep this under the 60-minute mark. And we're gonna go for the predictions, okay, for next round. Okay, I got the games here, so I'm gonna go. The first one I'm gonna kick off with Famalicão and Arouca in Famalicão. What's your take, Rui, on this one?
I think I'm going to go with Arouca on this one. I think Famalicão are defensively solid, but I think Arouca is also a team that's been really making the lives difficult on the bigger clubs as well. So I know,
I like it.
I think Famalicão's been really struggling to really get some goals. So I'll go 1-0 Arouca on this.
Oh, nice. Mike?
I'm gonna go 1-1 on this one because give the home team half a point, as they say.
All right.
Arouca's good, but I think that Famalicão at home will edge out a point.
Yeah. This game smells like a draw. I mean, I'm gonna go with 1-1 as well. I'm getting the feeling this is gonna be tied. Yeah.
I want to say that too, but I think I'm going to give you a name also. I'm saying John Dercad is scoring in that game too. All right. 1-1. I'm saying that one. What's next? Moreirense Farense y Moreira de Cónegos. I mean, Farense has been impressive at home. Struggling away. So, but I'm taking Farense. I'm taking Farense on this one. 2-1 Farense. Roy.
Yeah, I got the same 2-1 Farense on this one.
Mike.
I'll go with the home team in this one. I'll go against you. Say 2-1, but in the opposite.
Okay. All right. Derek.
I'm also going to go 2-1 for Moreirense. Yeah.
Okay. Split decisions.
We gotta save this game here.
Yeah.
Well, for as long as
all right, we're going to the next game. The next game is Estoril versus Vizela. Ooh, this is a nice one. This is a tough one. Estoril Vizela. I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to say 2-2.
Yeah, I'll go 3-1 Vizela on this one.
Ooh, okay.
2-0 Vizela for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go bold and say Estoril is gonna win 1-0 because they need to win.
Well, yeah, they're getting close to that mark.
Yeah. This is starting to get scary for them. They're playing at home. This is one of those games that they can pull out, and just get out with victory.
Yeah, like they did the way they did with Rio Ave. Maybe. All right. Next game. It's this is a massive game. Casa Pia, Vitória Guimarães. They're playing at home in the Geese at Casa Pia.
Kind of at
home.
No,
first game without Godwin.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm going Casa Pia.
Casa Pia still?
I'm going Casa Pia. Yeah. I'm not feeling Vitória right now. I think Casa Pia is going to win 2-1.
I'll go with Vitória. Vitória is going to win for me because Casa Pia doesn't have a home and they play very far away from their home, and they're better on the road because of it. And I think Vitória needs it. I mean, they need to make a statement. So
what's the place? Rio Mayor, right? Rio Mayor.
Yeah. It's quite a ways.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Guimarães too. I think they're a lot better than what we've been saying. The last two games, losing to Benfica is not there's no shame there, even if it's 4-0. And then I'll call this Portimonense the meltdown in the last 10 minutes that really initiated this whole thing of like Guimarães falling apart. First 3 games of the season, despite the manager change, they've been great. So I think they'll get back on track. Losing to Benfica and then having a meltdown. in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, I think so. They're a good team, so I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to go with Victoria Guimaraes also. Now,
Okay.
What's next? You know what's the next game, right? Porto versus Gil Vicente.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a tough
Man.
one. And I'm sorry to say this, but I think this is the wake-up call that Porto needs. And I think it's going to be Gil Vicente's taking this one. Adragao.
Wow.
At the Dragão. Oh man.
I said it. I gotta put my good just in case somebody to punch me.
They're the thorn in Porto's side.
Yeah,
they always come up with these funny results against Porto when you don't expect them to. So that's a possibility, Nino. But I do think Porto's going to win this. They're confident. Today was big for them.
Yeah, I think so.
Today was big.
That's going to carry on, right?
Like for confidence, and they're starting to gel. I mean, they're going to play at home. I think they're going to make a statement. I think it's going to be 3-0.
All right.
Got this feeling.
Yeah, I think Porto's going to win. Not have to be biased or anything. I think we're going to win 3-1. Yeah. We seem to not hold on to clean sheets for whatever reason. So I'll go. I would go 3-0, but I'm going to go 3-1 because we're going to let up one goal. Yeah,
Mike.
I'm thinking 3-0 also. I don't think there's any slip up here for Porto. I mean, they become a different team once they play in Europe. They get their legs back under them. They get their confidence.
Yeah,
they're coming together. There's good players in that team. Okay, you can say what you want, that they've played whatever, but the reality is they're on 13 points out of a possible 15.
It is what
they keep finding a way, and they're going to keep finding a way. I think they're actually probably going to play well this weekend. And I bet Fran Navarro scores on his old team.
Oh, that'll be.
It just seems
goal.
He won't celebrate though.
No,
he'll score the third
that
goal.
Usually happens. That usually
exactly.
happens. You score against your former club, right?
Yeah.
Usually happens.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say 2-1. And I say Frank Navarro is gonna score, but I think Vicente is gonna win this match 2-1. That's my prediction. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
I hope you're right, Nino.
No.
Oh my, that's my prediction. All right, next game. It is Chavez Estrela de Amadora. I think that's pretty. I'm not gonna say obvious, but I think my chances on Estrela with a break from Ronald. There you go.
Yeah, the way they're playing, I think you can trust them to get the result, unless Chaves gets that manager bump that comes with
the chicotada.
Yeah. I'll pick Estrela 2-1.
What is that? What's that chicotada? What's that?
That's the term they use when there's a managerial change, and for some reason that first game team comes out and
everything's fixed.
They want to like prove themselves to the manager, and they come out and win. So.
But I'm gonna use that one on the broadcast.
I'm with Mike. I think Estrela's going to win 2-1. Chaves is going to play. They're going to play tough.
They're going to play better, but yeah.
They're going to play with
chicotada, right? Chicotada.
The chicotada.
Chicotada. All right. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, I'll go the same. Estrela de Amadora. I think they're going to win. They played really well against us, and they could have tied the game. They could have beat us. They did really well. So a team that plays that well against a bigger side, it's positive. It's definitely a positive sign. So I'm going to go with them. I think Chaves are I don't think they're a good team, and I think they're just very broken right now. Yeah. I think it's going to take a while for them to really catch some sort of
identity
groove. Yeah. So,
yeah. All right, Mike, it's your turn now. You're going to Portimao. You win.
Yeah, that's sometimes been a tough place for us over the years.
I know.
I think we'll be all right. I think even if the squad has to be rotated, I think it'll be 3-1. That's a score line I seem to sense every week because I also don't know about. I don't sense we're getting clean sheets at this point. We're finding a way to concede whatever it is, whether it's by a penalty or by by a set piece of some sort. But I think for now the goals are going in, so I trust us. I trust my team to pick up enough goals to get the 3 points. But there's a big game on the other side, and those are sometimes where the slip ups come, is right before the big one. So cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cautiously optimistic. I like that one. What do you think about that, Rui, Derek, on that game?
Benfica.
Benfica?
Yeah,
I think
Benfica. I think I'm going to go 4-0 because Benfica just putting the goals away, and I think Portimonense's defense is really bad. So I think Benfica are going to take advantage of it. And if Benfica get that early goal in,
that's the key. Is if the early goal comes.
If the early goal comes in, it's just it opens the floodgates to more and more after. Because the frustrating part about playing the smaller teams is taking too long to score
to get that first one.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
now we're going to probably the best game of the weekend, and that's Braga versus Boa Vista.
Oh,
At the Municipal de Braga, I'm gonna trust on the Panthers to take it one more time, and it's gonna be the third loss in a row for Braga. That's my call.
I'm with Nino. I think Braga is going to play a very intense game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Napoli's coming to town, and they're going to have to work hard tomorrow to try to nip that result. And then they're just going to walk into that Boa Vista game. It's going to be very tough for them. And the way Boa Vista is playing with confidence, I think Boa Vista is going to nip that result. I think it's going to be 2-1.
All right, Mikey.
I think it's going to go a lot like Boa Vista's game with Benfica, to be honest. I think they're going to take it late, Boa Vista is, because of the fatigue, because of what we talked about. Braga is going to expend a lot tomorrow. They're going to feel that past 60 minutes. They're probably going to be up 2-1 and lose 3-2, is what I could see happening in this one.
Yeah.
And we'll find out if Boa Vista is really for real. If they can get this win, then we got to include them in the big four at that point for the season. Until they prove us wrong.
I'm going to go with Braga on this one, 2-1. I think Braga are a great team. They're excellent. I think they just have been unfortunate this year. I think the playoff round in the beginning of the season really threw them off, which is why they dropped points early on.
Yeah.
They really had to focus on that because European football is the most, especially the Champions League, is the most important thing.
That money's crucial.
The money's important. Yeah. So I think now that they're settled in, I know that they didn't have the best result this past week, but I think they're going to turn things around. I think there's too much quality and experience on this team. I think with the additions of João Moutinho and José Fonte, and even having Pizzi on the team, experienced guys can actually adapt a lot quicker when you need to get a result. So I really think Braga are going to win, especially at home. I'm going to go with them 2-1.
All right. We're gonna have a fantastic performance from King Richard, huh?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I think that tomorrow's result can have a bearing on that game.
Yeah.
I think if Braga loses tomorrow at home, and it's gonna be demoralizing. So that can certainly impact that game. And so we want to keep a close eye on tomorrow's game to see.
What Rui said makes sense though with the Fonte and the Moutinhos. Those guys are the ones that are going to keep a 2-game skid from turning into a 4 or 5 game skid. They're the ones that can regroup everybody and can tell the younger players, hey, it's a phase. We're going to play our way out of this. We're better than this. So now I might have a different answer if we did this over, but I'll stick with Boa Vista. Now that he made a really good point there, and those guys I think can be crucial.
Yeah. And that's give me 1 second. Something my girlfriend, she's in where she at now? She's in Madrid now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I was there last year.
She's going to Mallorca now. She's writing me from the airport. And she say, hey, babe, let me finish this live video. I'll get back to you. So she's like exploding here my WhatsApp. All right, guys, with that in mind, thank you so much for joining me tonight on this edition of Tuga Tuesdays. And hopefully Braga wins tomorrow. Hopefully Sporting wins on Thursday. And hopefully all our picks come to fruition over this weekend.
And I
Are
think
we missing?
Sporting Rio Ave, it's going to be Sporting 1, Rio Ave 0. 1-0.
Really? Just 1-0?
And 1-0. 1-0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll go
Yeah.
2-0. 2-0.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 as well. Yeah.
All right.
I know with that one too. Just 2-0. Oh,
Yeah.
Forza Sporting. Is that what Forza Sporting? That's what you say. Viva Sporting, right? How do you say that? Viva Sporting, right? All right, Viva Sporting.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
All
We'll
right.
see you next week.
Great time, guys. See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Right.